Hello, everyone. This is John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, here at the Cumalan Village, where each one reach one, each one teach one. One brick, one building, one block at a time. And as we often say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I'm also sharing today with my main man and brother, Elder Piaki.
How you all doing out there? Hope the snow don't have you snowed in.
Today, we hope that we might be able to share some information that hopefully someone will be able to use. I'm always talking about collaborating and working with one another. Last Sunday, we celebrated here at the village our 46-year anniversary. And we didn't make it and we didn't happen to get here by ourselves, but it comes from collaborating and working with others. Remember, always cooperation makes good business. And when you're working with a host of other people, that becomes the part where we often talk about each one reach one. So what we try to do is reach and help meet the needs of others. And, by collaborating with one another, when somebody else is doing something, you show your support. And when you got a host of enough people that's doing different things throughout the city, and you're showing your support. So when one is doing something, excuse me, and everyone else begin to show their support, that makes it even greater than it was. Because in being a leader, and doing different things, you can't do it by yourself. My father often, he bless his heart, and I appreciate him so much. And you often hear me speak about him because I don't ever want to forget where I come from. I don't want to forget my teaching. I want to make sure that I often remember and recognize him and lift him up and let people know where I got most of my education as well as the knowledge and teaching me how to work with people, and he often used to say cooperation makes good business. And I've adopted that, and just about everywhere I go, people know me from one of the things is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And showing that we care is by the collaborating and cooperating with one another when someone is doing something. And like I said, last week we shared, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of this program, the Cumalan Village. I was doing things back in the late mid 70s. I was hustling what they call, out of the trunk of my car, selling little t-shirts and hats and caps and different little things, sunglasses. But as I often say, my story is from which I came. I tell people, we had to come from somewhere. We know where we come from, but you don't know where you're going. But if you stay focused and you have a dream and you aiming, remember, I'm always talking about that dream. And I keep talking about that dream because I don't want you to forget about your dream because all of us have a dream. All of us want something out of life. And you can't get it if you drop it. If you don't, I mean, you don't have to tell nobody about it, but you can be about it yourself. And as I often say, Rome wasn't built overnight. And as well as we were celebrating here, we also had a service for my brother on last Sunday, and I got a chance to speak on that panel. And my title and the subject that I spoke on is being thankful and praising God, just thanking Him and appreciating Him for what He has done in my life. Because I've been blessed, like I often say, to be here now for 71 years. A whole lot of people can't say that. A lot of people, they can't say it because they're not here to say it. But as long as we're here, we have a chance to do something. We have a chance to make a difference. We have a chance to change our lives. Uh, we can't correct the mistakes that we have made in life, but we don't have to keep making the same mistakes that we have made in life. And I tell people, a lot of things I did in my past that I'm not so proud of, But I thank God that I wised up and learned better and learned how to do better and began to focus on more positive things in life. And I like to share a little experience, and because a lot of time people have a tendency to think that they are the only one that's going through something. You're not the only one. And in some cases, the only one that have these different certain situations where you're not the only one that have these certain situations. I experienced lost my driving license. I had to pay what they call driving responsibility fees and all that kind of stuff. Well, there was a time that it appeared that I wasn't going to go ahead and get that, be able to get out of that hole. And then, like I never was going to be able to climb out of that hole, and I almost gave up. But that's the thing, almost gave up. The thing is, I didn't give up. I kept hope alive. I kept focusing. My mom and dad would always tell me, you can do it. You can make it. But you have to put forth an effort to make it, put forth an effort to do it. And as long as we are doing that, we stand a chance. So I often tell people, keep hope alive and don't ever give up. Just don't nobody see your dream but you. Even with losing my driving license, I didn't have the money to pay that lump sum at one time. But what I did do, I went down to that court and I made arrangements to make payments. And you may not be able to pay what you want to pay, but you do the best that you can and pay what you can pay. And by doing so, eventually, it took me about 3 years to get all that stuff together. And I thought I would never, come up out of that hole. But at this time, I'm going to step out for a few moments and I'm going to let Brother Piaki have a few words.
All right. And listening to what he said about mistakes, we all make them. And some you make, you survive, and some you make, you don't. I like to say this to the young ones. You don't get old without learning, because if you don't learn from your mistakes, you won't never get old, because you keep making the same ones over and over and over. And one day, that mistake, depending on how dangerous or how serious it may take you out of here. So I can remember when I was a little bad little kid and I thought I was slick. All my buddies steal a car, but I had my little driver's permit, so everybody thought I could drive because I had a driver's permit. I would drive it knowing that it was a stolen car, but I was lucky didn't get caught in it. And told all my friends, do not mess with a Cadillac. Don't mess with nobody's expensive car, because back then, if you was paying them kind of car notes, you you was starving. And if somebody stole your ride and you still got to pay that note, if you caught up with the person that was breaking into your car, then you were there something serious to them. And watching some of my friends take all those unnecessary chances, I gave it up. I say it's a time you got to know when to hold. What they say, know when to hold them and know when to fold. So you don't want to take unnecessary chances with your life, and you're gonna make mistakes because you learn from them. But you don't learn if you're making the same mistake over and over and over. And one time is enough to know. When I can hear them grandmamas, when they had them old hot pot belly stoves in the kitchen, they be red hot, and they tell them grandkids, stay away from that stove. And all of a sudden you hear one holler, oh, he didn't listen. Touch that hot stove. So just like that, it might sound funny, but it's serious. Is learning is a process. And once you learn from your mistakes, you could pass that knowledge on to those that come behind you, and hopefully they'll learn without having to make the mistake. Talking about health too, with your elderly getting up in age. At one time, they were all young, just like the youth. But if the youth don't take care of their health, they will never get old, because your health will take you away from here quicker than anything else. And you see all this medicines out here that people say you got to get herbal this and herbal that. Well, some things herbal not going to handle with what they putting out here in this atmosphere today. So chemicals that's in the water, the air, the earth. You got to be conscious of your food you eat. You got to be conscious of the things that you take into your body. Smoking is definitely one serious problem. Don't smoke none if you don't have to. Now, that marijuana, yeah, it's legal now. I remember when a time a guy get 20 years for one stick of marijuana. But now people can make tax money off of it, so it's legal. But it's still smoke. It would damage your lungs. You get too carried away with smoking anything. I want to say that it's not about money. It's about your health. If you don't have no health, you can have all the money in the world, and it's not going to help you. So I could give you a little small suggestion. If you got a internet, go online, look up a water filter. Something simple as a water filter for your kitchen. So you filter out those heavy metals that's in your water. Because we don't know what they putting in these kind of chemicals they putting in this atmosphere or in this environment. But you could take some precautions to try and kind of alleviate some of that problem that will probably, it might not show up while you're young, but it definitely will stay in your system and show up when you get old. Your eyesight, your breathing, your kidneys, all of that, you need to take care of what you're taking into your system that may damage them. And get a water filter for your kitchen, get one that'll take out heavy metals, at least two type of heavy metals like lead and that calcium or whatever. You don't want that building up in your system over a period of time either. And bottled water, now they're talking about all the plastic, microplastics, all of this pollution. Well, it's in here, it's in the atmosphere, so just don't do anything excess. Try and filter your water as much as you can to clean the water, because that's one thing everybody on this planet needs. And if you're going to take an excess amount of it, make sure you filter it. And hope that you can make it to a certain age, like me and my brother here. he's the younger brother, so you know where I'm at. But
Blessed.
yeah, I'm blessed. I mean, I survived a lot of crazy stuff. Vietnam was one, and I know there's a God, because I didn't make it through there on my own, not with all them bullets flying around my head. So I'm just saying this to the brothers and sisters out there. Love each other, love your family, love those you're close to. Stay in touch with as many of them as you can, and hope that you can give them some information that'll help them go into the future. And I don't have too much more to say, and I'll turn this back over to my brother.
Thank you, Elder Piaki. I appreciate you sharing all the words of wisdom. But equally as well, I often tell people, love yourself. You should love yourself more than anybody. Love yourself like your mom and your dad love on you. You know, why is it that people have a tendency to love you more than you love your own self? If people care enough about you to tell you what's right from wrong, that lets you know that they care about you, because, you know, they can look at you and see you hurting yourself and doing things to yourself and don't have to be bothered with, I'm grown, you trying to tell me what to do. We don't be wanting to hear all of that, but we take the time out and share and try to let you know that we care about you and that you should be making better decisions, knowing that you're going to get mad with us, you're going to get upset with us, you're going to tell us you don't want to hear it, but love yourself as much as we love you. If you love yourself and knowing, think about it. If a bottle says poison and you know that it's poison, you're not just going to pick it up and drink it. Well, it may not say it, but what it boils down to, liquor, beer, wine, liquor, and all this different stuff, is poison. And there's so many people that's drinking themselves to death. It messes up your liver, it messes up your kidneys, it messes up a host of things in your body. So what we want you to do is love yourself enough to do something. Like Elder Piaki was mentioning about the smoke, the cigarettes, they got vaping out here now. All of this stuff. That vape is equivalent to one little old vial. I think they say is equivalent to about a whole one pack or 2 packs of cigarettes. And based upon that, when you look at that kind of situation and you smoke one and you drink, you're drinking and you're smoking, you're just putting poison in your body. So think enough of yourself. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. All I'm trying to do is help you open your eyes and take a good look at yourself. Sometimes we just need to say, I think it was Michael Jackson sung a song, take a look at the man in the mirror.
Yeah.
Sometimes just go in there and stand in the mirror and look at yourself and think about the different things that you have done in your life, the decisions that you have made in your life. And as you often hear me say, good to me, but not good for me. So let's start making the good for me decisions, not just the good to me. Elder Piaki, anything else you'd like to say?
One thing about that man in the mirror, you can't tell that man in the mirror that lie. You know that man in the mirror know you better than you know yourself. So be as honest with yourself that you can be, even if you don't like what you feel when you come away from the mirror. Be true to yourself.
Yep. So let's just keep it real. You can fool us, but you can't fool yourself. So we just want to thank you today for listening to John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, over here at the Alkemalon Village, where each one reach one, each one teach one. Ella Piaki and I just want you guys to know that we appreciate you and we show that we care about the things that we say and do. Have a great day.
Stay safe out there.